Now we bring in our good buddy, Joe Namath, the Hall of Famer, here on the Michael K. Show. Joe, how you doing today?
Well, I'm doing all right, Michael. Don, Peter, I'm doing all right, considering some of the things I have said. I don't feel good about it, but we won the game, and that was the most important thing.
Now, Twitter certainly gets everybody's attention, and you use it very well. Let's start with what you tweeted out last week after the first half. I don't think, Joe, that it was that outrageous considering how poorly the entire team played, but I thought that the team handled it very well. Fitzpatrick said he understood. Brandon Marshall said, all due respect to Joe, but come on, it's just one half. What are your thoughts? Why do you regret sending it out?
I do, yes. I felt bad about it afterwards. My daughter's the first one that questioned what I sent out. But it was the way I felt. I was a frustrated and am a frustrated fan. But it's what I felt at the time, and I just wish I hadn't done it because it's done more harm than it has good. What's happening here, whenever I think back at myself, my career and all, I know we quarterbacks, anybody for the most pro quarterbacks, we don't point fingers at people. And in summarizing the game Sunday, Coach Bowles pointed out that it reminded me again, it's a team game. You know, when I saw Fitz start in the second half, I was saying, well, I don't understand this. But I do. Hell, we've had dropped balls. We have missed tackles. We had other guys. It is a team game. And one of the real facts of the sport is the quarterback winning, you get a great deal of credit, maybe more than you deserve at times, and losing, you are the focal point and you get the blame. I have been frustrated from the first week on with the play of the team, and I eye the quarterbacks on every game I watch, first of all. I evaluate quarterbacks' play, and we quarterbacks are more forgiving of the rest of the offense. Whenever something happens, we believe we can pick it up. We believe we can make it happen. We can overcome the other things. But I was just frustrated with that first half of play against the competition we were playing against. It looked like, man, where are we going from here? And I do regret sending that out, but that was the way I felt at that time.
You know, what's interesting is the first pass he threw in the third quarter should have been picked. It was a great play by Anunwa to strip it from him and almost actually made the catch. And I'd be curious to see if he would have been able to survive if he had thrown that pick. Because then it'd be 3 for 15 with an interception. But never feel bad, Joe. I mean, the fans appreciate you giving your opinion. They're emotional as well. And, heck, the Jets benched him. And he would be the backup if it wasn't for the Geno Smith injury. So the seal's been broken as far as how this team feels about him and how he played. And you're a Hall of Fame player. People value your opinion. And if that's the way you felt, you should never feel ashamed for doing that.
Well, you know what, Don? The other thing is I do. Well, first of all, I do feel ashamed for doing it. It breaks the kind of a team player code, and no good could come of it. But, oh, man, there was something. You got to give trust to the coaching staff and the players. They want to win so badly, and they're obligated to playing their best players at all times. And I got to remind myself, I haven't even seen Petty played so little. I don't know where the rookie is. Fitz is the best we have to get out there and win. And so, again, I lost trust there. I forgot that fact that they are playing the best players on the team because they want to win more than anybody.
It is interesting, though, Joe, because they have a tough decision. If they don't make a run here and reel off, another 2 wins in a row, go 5-5, when do you switch to Bryce Petty? Because Ryan Fitzpatrick is not the future of this team. He's going to be the quarterback this year, and that's it. So, I understood what you were saying at halftime. I don't know if it would have helped them win on Sunday, but they've got to get a look at this guy to see if he's the quarterback for next year.
Well, they look at him every day, Mike, and the other players see guys every day, at least even in limited practices they see him. If the rest of the players aren't convinced that the best guy's under center, you're asking for trouble. I mean, these guys, most of them, you'd think all of them are going to go out there and give it that 100+% of effort. But if they think for 1 minute that they're not having a teammate lining up beside him that gives them the best chance to win, it could lead to bigger problems.
So I didn't have an issue with the tweet, but I guess the one that I raised an eyebrow was the previous week about questioning Geno Smith's injury when he was standing on the sidelines. What was your thought process on that one?
Well, I happen to have had some experience with knee injuries, and knowing what the protocol is, so to speak, with the knee injury, I was surprised to see, first of all, whenever he left the field, he was walking fine, not the field, but going in to the locker room. There was no indication of a limp leaving the field. Okay? Now, when he came back out in street clothes, I was surprised because, again, we hadn't been told the extent of the injury. And whenever I've ever had torn ligaments or a torn ligament or a torn meniscus or even a torn muscle, I couldn't be standing around. I'm sorry. That's get off your feet. I didn't know that. I didn't know that he had a torn muscle to the extent of that injury. And I was confused, and I questioned what was going on. And Geno did, and the media finally did the day later after some tests say that he had a torn ligament in his knee, which still, the doctors, if they knew that, get off your feet, buddy, put ice on this,